how would be another useful question. Lots of variations on how. So we could say like, how specifically have I created this experience that I'm unhappy with? So this is also empowering because it's acknowledging that, or at least presupposes that I created this experience instead of the usual way, which is, oh, it's not fair. This is happening again. Why me? Nah, 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 nah. It's like, okay, so how did I create this? Because I'm choosing to reclaim my responsibility. I mean, I am responsible and I'm just choosing to acknowledge that. So I created this. I've been living in ignorance. It was willful ignorance. I was choosing to live in ignorance, pretending like I'm a victim, that I'm disempowered and that life is just happening to me and it's not fair and I don't like it. Wham, wham, wham. But then I can ask this question, well, how specifically did I produce this experience? And of course, again, I have to be willing, if I really want the new results or different results, I have to be willing to approach this sincerely because I could approach it insincerely and then I wouldn't get good results, right? I mean, I could ask the question, well, how specifically did I create this? And then I could just have this insincere response that says, I didn't create this. Other people created it. External circumstances created it. It's so obvious. So, I mean, so if you just insist on answering it from the old point of view, then you can't expect new results. So for this to work, you have to be sincere in your approach and you have to be willing to go with the presuppositions of the question. So the presupposition here is the question being, how did I create this? How specifically did I create this experience? The presupposition is that I did create it and that there is a process by which I did it and that it's possible for me to be consciously aware of that. So in order to get the results, I have to be willing to go along with that presupposition. I have to be willing to step into that frame and act from and live from that frame because otherwise I'll just continue to live from the old frame. The old frame, I don't recognize it as a frame because I've been living in it and I'm hypnotized by it. So I just say, well, that's reality. Reality is that life is happening to me and other people are responsible for all these things and it's due to systems and external factors and yeah, I'm powerless in the whole equation. I just wish that it was different, and I hope and pray that it will be different someday. But I have no agency in the whole thing. That would be the old way. That's the old frame. But it's invisible to me until I step out of it. So, in order to step out of it, this is one way to do that: is to step into the new frame by accepting the presuppositions of the question. How specifically did I create this experience? So then you have to be willing to answer it from within that frame. And even if there's a part of you that balks at that, this is bullshit. Everything's happening to me. I'm a victim. Can't you see? It's so obvious, like, and there'll be all kinds of potential justifications for it. I mean, trust me, I get it. I understand. The mind will say, oh, come on, you didn't create earthquakes and you didn't create the weather, and there's obviously stuff that's outside of you that's influencing you. It's like, fine, that's fine. And that's not the question here. The question is, what specifically did I do to create this experience? The experience is my experience. It's not my story about it. The experience is what I'm actually experiencing subjectively. It's not the so-called objective external facts. That's just the narrative that I've spun to justify continuing to do things the same way. So the invitation with this question is to step out of that and answer from a new frame. Again, presuppositions are that I did create this experience. There's a process by which the experience was created, and I can be aware of that. That will allow me to consciously choose something different. So that's really, really powerful. And it comes just from answering the question sincerely and then being willing to receive sincere answers to that.